Because I really have not watched anything. I think we covered UCW.
Yeah.
Correct. About what? You want to go?
No, I was just telling you why we're so What's going on, everybody? Welcome to an official edition of Corner to Corner Wrestling Radio right here on Spreaker.com. Stan Grubb here with my tag team partner Brian Taylor.
What's going on?
Brian, it's
No, I always say that. I need new.
You gonna change it up?
Yeah, I need a new change. Maybe next week I'll get a new change.
Fix it up.
Yeah,
maybe
fix it up.
Make it nice and neat.
Nice little bow.
Yeah. Gift wrapped it. All nice for our fans.
Yes.
So, another successful UCW event in the books, Brian. We live from Orange County, Virginia, Orange County Fair. Summertime Bash. Successful, I think. I think it did rather well in spite of...
Mother Nature.
Yeah, that Mother Nature is cold-hearted. How much rain can you possibly dump on one area? Jeez, there was mud in every part of my shoe that shouldn't have mud.
I ruined a pair of pants.
Yeah.
But, it's like I said there, because I was there early, helped, set up a little bit, and, that's what indie wrestling's about.
Yeah.
Almost all the talent were able to be there. I think one or two got caught behind roads that were literally flooded
Washed out, yeah.
Barriers up, police in front. You can't go down this way. We probably had a good 100, 120 people, I would say, that managed to show up. I would have ventured to say that without the rain, three times as much, I would imagine.
I would say it's very possible. A very happy, upbeat crowd.
Mm-hmm. Loud, very loud.
Yes, definitely. We saw history made. UCW history, the first ever UCW Battle Royal won by a female.
Yes.
Yeah.
And who better than the belt collector,
Casey
Carlisle.
She had a rough night, roller coaster. First off, her matchup with Avery Rose, yet again, great matchup. These two ladies, I don't know many ladies that had chemistry like that, but this was a good one. Avery looked good. She was really, really ready to rock. And
I think it's quite possible, though, Avery grabbed tights. I'm just saying.
There was question. Casey was upset. Maybe, possibly. I didn't have a great angle on that.
You never have a great angle.
I usually we do have a pretty good angle, but I think this time maybe I just didn't see it.
Oh, you got that little eyelash.
Jimmy Flame wasn't there, so I can't blame him or the baby oil. But maybe it was just an eyelash, hangnail, something distracting me.
That's my line.
But it was a good matchup. I was really happy to see it. And hey, first time ever where we see the ladies' championship defended and change hands.
Mm-hmm.
Got a new ladies' champion in Avery Rose. Congratulations, Miss Rose. You did a great job. Hell of a matchup.
Yes, congratulations.
The fans loved it.
Yeah, just like the last time. Sorry, I got to turn the fan on. It's awful hot up here in the control center. Because apparently there's no controlled weather. Or AC, or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, just like last time, they impressed.
Yeah.
Hopefully it'll continue. I think Casey's probably due a rematch. So.
Yeah, man. Can you imagine a part 3 to that?
Ooh.
It's just, it's similar to kind of how Scorpion and Ethan Cross was. The first two were like, man, what's going to happen? And there's going to be a part 3. There's got to be.
Yes, got to be a part 3 somewhere down the line. I'm sure Casey will invoke her rematch clause.
Yeah. But you know what? Here's the thing. We saw a lot of cool first time ever type things. First ever Kiss My Foot match. Well, Sort of.
Sort of, yes.
Ethan Cross takes on Tremor. The Big Stuff Industries and Humphrey J. DuPont family at it again, where this time the winning manager would have his foot kissed by the losing manager.
Right. Well, and don't forget
The other stipulation, that's right.
the other stipulations. Humphrey J. said he would never return to Orange. Not that I blame him if he lost.
Well,
He may have just thrown the match so he never had to go back into Orange.
You think that's what it was?
It's quite possible.
He's just like, you know what, I'm done here.
I'm done.
But
Yeah,
who
I'm out.
volunteers to kiss a foot?
Well, I mean, that's a small price to pay. Would you
right.
rather kiss a foot or kiss somebody from Orange?
I
I go with the foot. I go with the foot.
Easy. The folks from Orange County were in...
We're just joshing.
Great form.
Don't hunt us down.
well, hey, you can hunt Brian down.
But Stan lives in Orange, though.
No, he doesn't. Stan lives in a van.
Shops at Walmart quite regularly.
They do have an aisle named after me.
He's a little ball troll.
He lives under the bridge. Damn it. Stop being funny. But, so, great match between Tremor and Ethan Cross. I thought Tremor had a great showing for himself. But Ethan, wow. Poor guy's on the slide right now.
Mm-hmm.
Another loss, a big loss in this case. Diving from the top rope, which we don't see Ethan do very often. But he gets caught and got nailed with a choke slam, putting him down for the 1, 2, 3, and then, and then we saw the madness. Now, I guess I should go back though, because you have to mention Tremor having some outside assistance.
Well, I think you should go back just a little bit more to Tremor delivering not one, not two,
Oh yeah, the
but
trifecta, yes.
3 European uppercuts.
Yeah,
Quite fluently, if that's the word I'm looking for here, made it look very, very good.
you know, Tremor's improving. Not that he was really poor, but watching him the other night just deliver these moves, really getting more fluid in the ring. And when he hit that trifecta of uppercuts, you kind of knew that there's another gear, another level to Tremor that we really hadn't seen in the past.
Yeah, for a big guy, he is able to move very well.
Which, and take nothing away from Ethan Cross. I mean, Ethan gave him everything he could handle. It wasn't as if Ethan was some kind of slouch. But I honestly think that Tremor may have finally found a comrade, a confidant, that can help him more than that of KR. KR Superstar may have actually found the most ingenious cornerman in the history of the business.
Captain, can we say it? Without getting in trouble?
You know what? I'm going to take a risk. I'm going to go out on a limb. Captain Crunch was live at Orange County Fair. And hey, he took his lumps too.
Yeah.
Tremor was happy to share the glee that was Captain Crunch. Ethan, at first he seemed like he took it and accepted it. And then he turned his back and put the boots to Captain Crunch.
Yeah. Now, you would have thought that, a guy like Ethan who has Monkey Muffin in his corner sometimes would have been a little bit more receptive to Captain Crunch. But then he gave that Captain Crunch its due, and then great Humphrey J. punted it.
That was disgusting. Beats it within an inch of its life with his briefcase, and then punts it into the crowd. Which, hey, how about the Orange County fans for finding it
and returning
it to KR Superstar?
Vehemently returning it. Yeah,
I mean,
like,
that kid
here,
was
this
not-
is your doll, bud. Here.
That kid was not leaving the front row until he got it back to KR Superstar, which was amazing, by the way. The interaction between Humphrey J and KR, Brian, you got to know that's not done. That's only getting worse.
We'll come back to that because that's going to lead into just 2-3
soon.
short weeks. Yes.
Yeah.
So we'll come back to that topic.
But it was Tremor who was victorious, who really handled himself very well, represented Big Stuff Industries in good fashion. Big Stuff Industries, by the way, loved. I know, I can't believe I said it either. Loved in Orange County.
Yeah, it's Michaels and Bret Hart.
Right. It's
all over again.
You go to Montreal and, HBK is hated. Yeah. Doesn't matter how popular the guy is anymore. Nope. We don't like you.
Yep. Boo.
So, you know what? We found Bizarro World. It is Orange County. Hey, Fatty McNasty making his long-awaited return.
A year in the making almost.
To UCW and turning his back on the fans.
Do you blame him?
A year ago, Orange County loved this man.
But he comes from Scotland and they boo him as soon as he doesn't even come out the curtain and they boo him.
That's true.
I would turn on him too.
Music. That is true. The music played and all of a sudden there were boos.
Boos.
But Bizarro World may have taken hold because as his opponent came to the ring, the Big Stuff Industries Open Challenge for the UCW title, it was, I was so confused. So confused. Mr. Big Stuff, the UCW champion and KR superstar, come to the ring, and boy, the reaction from the crowd was just insane.
Insane. Now, it should be noted that, Big Stuff Industries is kind of located in Orange, and, they probably employ numerous Orangians to clean the stables, wash the cars,
wow, Orange
and all that stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, so I would imagine that they might have been all employees for all we know.
Yeah, I guess that's a possibility.
However, I am going to make note that Mr. Big Stuff has successfully defended his title in an open challenge more times than Seth Rollins did.
Oh, wow. Oof.
Boom!
Oof, that hurts.
And just like that, my PayPal account goes up.
Ding. Didn't see that title change coming.
We'll get to that in a little bit.
More to come. One of the things that I noticed during that matchup between Fatty and Mr. Big Stuff was the aggression show from Fatty McNasty. Not to say that he takes it easy on his opponents, but it was a more angry, more aggressive approach he took, and it still wasn't enough to topple the champ.
Well, what's interesting is I had an opportunity to talk to Mr. McNasty, and he said it's been like 15 or 18 years since he had a crowd turn on him like that, and that he was so upset he was going to Louisa.
So, wait.
Louisa, of all places.
Who wants to go to Louisa?
Exactly.
It's a cesspool of Louisa. If you were to give the state of Virginia an enema,
it would be
stick your hose right in Louisa.
It's kind of like New Jersey.
That's right. Goes right in New Jersey. If you do in the United States, it's New Jersey, but if it's just Virginia, it's Louisa. Hear that, New Jersey?
Some other big returns?
Oh, yeah. How about Mr. Second to None, Dewan O'Neal, returning, former UCW heavyweight champion. A tremendous matchup with the ruthless one, Jason Raditz.
Probably the biggest as far as like power clash of the night.
Two of the strongest guys in UCW, I think. Raditz, 2 times in a row now, just really, really delivering in a big, big way. And, I don't want to put down the former champ. I don't mean this disrespectfully, but gosh, he just got kind of caught off guard. Maybe he was looking past Mr. Raditz. Maybe that's what it was. But Raditz had the presence of mind to do a roll-through on a very well-executed cross-body press. And he caught the 3. And hey, Jason Raditz is now 1-1 in UCW. An impressive victory over the former champ. That has to definitely put him on the map as far as potentially challenging for the UCW title sometime in the future.
Yeah, it's not ring rust. It's not anything. I think Second to None was just caught off guard.
Yeah, I think so.
And, under different circumstances, maybe next time, because, again, hopefully they'll get a rematch. That was a very good match.
Oh, yeah, we've not seen the last of that.
I would be shocked if that little, what Radish did will take care of second and then next time.
I did catch wind. There's an edict been put out for UCW Radio to speak with either Mr. Raditz or Mr. Second to None themselves to get their thoughts on the contest. Feelers have been sent out. Mr. Lariat did let me know that he's hoping to have a confirmation sometime this week so that next week when UCW Radio returns, should be a great first-time interview with either guy for UCW Radio. But here's the thing, hard-hitting contests, these guys really laid into each other, pulled no punches, of course. One, Juwan O'Neill looking great, formerly known as Juggernaut. Just like you said, no ring rust. The guy's been in great shape the entire time we've known him. He really looked good.
Been tearing up the East Coast.
Yep. Maybe a renewed focus, I think. He definitely seemed like he was ready to be there, ready for action. Hey, another guy that was ready for action, though, when you look at it, I talked about it at the beginning of that. Mr. Raditz was really aggressive, but he really seemed like he wanted to prove a point and make a statement just a couple nights ago, and that he did. Just some of the bruising tactics that he put to his disposal against Juwan O'Neill. I really do believe that he's looking to make a move, and I'm curious if the DuPont family or Big Stuff Industries has their eye on this kid.
Let's back up. Not everybody is good enough to go to one of the two families. Let's. That's why you don't get the Christmas card.
Hey, I can always see the writing on the wall. Although nobody expected them to fire Jeffrey Bravo, which was horrible, by the way. Humphrey Day DuPont, you can't fire this guy. He comes this close to becoming UCW champion, but just because he doesn't do it that one time, you kick the guy loose. I mean, that's no way to treat a guy when he's down. I don't think we've seen the last of Mr. Bravo either. Don't think there's not going to be some comeuppance from Mr. DuPont for that.
Listen to you. Cashing checks.
Hey, every single time. Writing checks that my body continues to cash.
That's not true.
Let's take a look at some other contests that happened. Hey, the King of the Common Man continuing his winning ways. Let me say that again. The King of the Common Man continuing winning ways.
The number one contender for the UCW television title, Joe King.
Wonder if it's joking or Joe King.
Joe King.
Joe King.
You're not. Oh my goodness gracious.
You don't catch the. It just hit me just now.
No.
Anyway, the King of the Common Man taking on a debuting Anthony Adams, who chiseled out of stone from Athens, Greece.
Looks the part.
Yes, and delivers in a very methodical but brutal fashion. If you go to the Facebook page, Ultimate Championship Wrestling LLC, that's Facebook.com/UCW Forever, you can catch up with all the action from UCW's Summertime Bash. There's 9 complete albums, photos, still shots from all of the action, in which you'll see a bicycle kick that was delivered from Anthony Adams to Joe King that literally knocked the block off Joe King. We thought we were going to need medical attention for the King of the Common Man, but he took a beating just to find his way somehow to hitting the Killing Joke and securing the 1-2-3. I was really impressed.
Yeah, again, he has one of the better records in UCW. I believe he is above 500. If I remember right. Which puts him in a
rarefied air.
Yeah, in a top tier echelon as far as the talent at UCW goes. Always delivers. Seems to always get the victory. So that's why he's earned the shot coming up against the Red Scorpion.
I can't believe I'm going to say this, but is it possible we're looking at the next TV champ?
Oh, again with the controversy.
Ready. Think about the momentum this guy has built. This is his 3rd or 4th victory in a row.
Last time he won a triple threat.
Yeah, against not just Jason Raditz, who beat a former champ. And hey, what does that say about Joe King? If Raditz beats a former champ and King beats Raditz, which is, by the way, who he pinned during that triple threat, I mean, does that mean Joe King could be...
No, that just means Joe King beat Adams. That's it.
I mean, hey, conspiracy theories...
Oh, my goodness.
Or
Now we're in Bizarro land. We back in Orange.
You know what? It's had a lasting effect. It took me a while to recover. There's still some mud in some shoes somewhere.
Sounds like you're mudding your head.
Hey, the amount of mud that was out there, it's possible. It could have been in my sinuses and in my ears, for crying out loud. Hey, we can't forget somebody, the Iron Man of the night. This guy worked and refereed every single matchup. Official Bill Olsen, kicking butt, refereeing all night long. Got to give kudos to that.
Yeah, that's quite impressive feat, especially the weather environment.
Yep, 2 hours straight. Giving the guy, it's got to give him props. And hey, how many times we go, do you want some water? You want some Gatorade, something? He turned us down each time.
I don't remember you doing that. I don't remember.
It's what we did. You were there.
And I didn't see it.
You were probably texting KR again. Hey, buddy, great job. Thanks so much.
Yeah, there might have been a beeper, a ding or two in my PayPal.
Yeah.
Check your email. So.
I wonder if he has a listener on the inside, so every time you give a compliment, ding! Oh, Brian said something nice.
It works
again.
kind of like Twitch, is what you're saying? No.
Here's bits! Here's some bits!
Woohoo! $1,000. Woohoo! Gotta get a new pair of shoes. You're also remiss in mentioning a guy also on a winning streak who got the loudest pop of the night.
Oh, yeah.
And our friend Porkchop Johnson.
Wow, yes.
As he took on one half of the Hounds of Hades.
Yeah, returning from action all over the East Coast, Jackson Shadows, in a matchup that we really didn't see coming, but wow. And how much of a beating did Porkchop have to endure?
Oh, the chops alone are
those
thunderous.
Those rang through the sky
Yes.
in Orange, Virginia.
Hopefully soon when the video is released on Hotspots.
Hotspots.com.
Yes. Let's plug that one in there. UCW on Hotspots.
Proud partnership there.
You'll be able to feel the pain, and I say pain, of those chops because they were cringeworthy.
I heard it was rattling teeth. I mean, the shots were so loud, like gunshots.
Yes.
It was ungodly noise. Just the sounds of hand attacking flesh, just as hard as he possibly could deliver. Not to mention suplex after suplex, vertical, belly to belly, fisherman suplex. Jackson Shadows came to fight.
Slams. Just straight up lifted them.
Yeah. And there was, when you see guys and they hit a suplex or something, and it looks like another guy's trying to brace himself, trying to get himself ready for that. No. Porkchop was being lifted from dead weight, just throwing him around.
Yes.
So impressive shows of strength by Jackson Shadows. I have a feeling that the future for him, even if the Hounds of Hades was only to see one of them return, then we got the better one, because this guy was ready to rock. Can't ignore, though, that Austin Shadows is always waiting in the wing. You never know. Hounds of Hades, tag team,
you never know.
Singles activity.
I mean, they still have, I think they still should be given an opportunity at Cheap Thrills. So hopefully we may see that in the near future.
Hey, our thoughts with Jimmy Flame. I understood he took a bit of a pounding on the rugby field.
I guess he would be UCW's two-sport athlete. Yeah, right. That's what I was thinking.
Can he wear baby oil when he's on the rugby field?
Oh, that would be pretty good, too. In the scrum, he squirts out.
He's got the hot pink headband out there.
So congratulations to Jimmy Flame for getting the opportunity to try out the rugby.
Our version of a Timex, Jimmy Flame, takes a lick and keeps on taking. Mm-hmm. We talked about the matchups. Well, you have to point out some of the interviews that we heard. A couple times, Humphrey J. DuPont comes to the ring, Well, first comes to the ring. Pat Lawson has more than his hands full there. Being told that he could basically tell the people of Orange to stick it. That he was anxious to get out of that county, anxious to get out of the fairground, get out of the mud. And then you had the other opportunity, which later on in the night, which turned into the ensuing Kiss My Foot match. I mean, you talk about Humphrey J., the guy just riling up, angering all of the people of Orange. If you've paid attention on social media, Facebook.com or Twitter, you really heard and saw from both Humphrey J. DuPont and also KR Superstar, you heard the both of them going back and forth. And this night would be no different. Humphrey J. continuing to rattle the cages of the people of Orange. And it was actually something else that I noticed was that when Casey Carlisle was coming out for her interview, she told the people of Orange if they couldn't keep it down, if they couldn't be quiet, that she wasn't going to come to the ring. And ultimately what happens there is we finally get to a point where the crowd would not relent. It was probably the loudest they had been of the night, next to when Pork Chop came out. And Casey was forced to shout her way above and beyond the energy of the Orange County crowd. I think it's safe to say Orange County was ready for UCW.
No. But I'm not here to talk about Orange County, much as I want to.
You're always talking about Orange County. Every chance you get, making horrible comments, thumbing your nose, doing snot rockets at the ring.
Hey. Today it's Orange County, and Humphrey helps me. Next time, it's Ashland, and KR helps me. I got the best of both worlds, kid.
Yeah, well, how did that go when Humphrey was talking to you? Did you have a little bit of a bad odor coming from his breath from all those feet he had in his mouth?
No.
I heard a rumor he was sucking toes.
Nope. I mean, KR was dressed in the $1,500 alligator skin. There's no mud on them. They're clean.
There may not be any mud, but I'm sure those
fresh out the box.
Them dogs were barking. You know this.
Fresh out the box. You wait till I tell KR. Keep it up.
Make sure you bend down to talk.
Keep it up. You're gonna pay.
Pay what? Pay bits?
Pay.
I'm not afraid. I am not afraid of chaos.
Let me tell the champ.
Mr. Big Stuff, on the other hand, I'll stay away from that.
Right then.
Hey, speaking of that, thoughts go out to Mr. Big Stuff, who, during the main event, which we're going to talk about here in just a moment, suffered a busted lip, which required 6 stitches. This man, the very definition of toughness, though. 6 stitches and still competes in a battle royal to continue to shine for UCW. It was only after a mishap that he was eliminated. Imagine what would have happened if he had been one of the last guys in the ring with Casey Carlisle and Avery Rose. What would have transpired? Would he have laid a hand? Would he have raised his fist?
Well, since you done ruined it now, go on and just fill him in on what happened.
So, the $10,000 battle royal, which is, of course, the main event. And hey, I heard a rumor that the Doctor and Mr. Lariat were at odds and threatening to throw each other into the ring and then out of the ring. Can't confirm it. Maybe we have to catch the audio from the show.
I just know if somebody could have gotten his shirt off, it'd have been all she wrote.
Of course. I mean, it's always wardrobe malfunctions that get in the way. I understand. But $10,000 on the line, all of UCW's finest, the entire roster ready to fight, and that they did. They come out for this battle royal. And what seemed to me, honestly, I thought maybe our former champ, Mr. Second to None, may have been the favorite to win it because once again he was shining. But big surprise, in the midst of all of the action, after one suffering defeat, losing her ladies' championship, the belt collector comes to the ring, and Casey Carlisle declares that she is entering the $10,000 battle royal. Not to be outshined. Soon after that, Avery Rose enters the Battle Royal, and now it's an official all UCW Superstar intergender Battle Royal.
A first for UCW, the intergender. But if you're Casey, though, in one respect, you're you're mad you lose your title. But in the other side of it, you go home with a briefcase, 10 large.
$10,000. $10,000. First ever Summertime Bash Battle Royal victor. That's impressive. First time ever any lady from the women's division has competed against another man instead of another female in their own matchup. And then you also have to recall that this is the first time we've seen a woman win in UCW, especially in Battle Royal style. Pretty cool. All points around, we had history made. And hey, you know, while I do think Avery Rose is a great champion, who better really to be the first ever history-making winner of the Summertime Bash? That being the belt collector herself, Miss Casey Carlin.
Yeah. You wait. You know she's a fan of the show.
Loves the show. Well,
you heard the chops she delivered to Avery.
That I did. Those chops?
Quite possibly.
That could have bruised the storm
second.
Again. Yeah.
Only to Mr. Shadows.
Well, what about the chops that Big Stuff and McNasty threw?
I'm still going to put them third.
Those were reverberating off of the walls.
Well, yeah, but there's no denying that Shadows probably bruised a lung on Pork Chop.
I mean, I thought he was going through the man's body instead of just hitting him.
And we know for a fact, after speaking to Avery, from the last time she climbed in the ring with Casey.
Yeah, bruised sternum, yeah.
Yes. Bruised. So, I would put Jackson, Casey, and then the other guys.
Wow. Look at that. Well, you know what? I'd probably have to agree. I think the hardest, loudest shots of the night was probably the one that Jackson Shadows delivered to Pork Chop. But Casey and Avery delivering just a brutal offense to one another. But how many different pinning combinations did Avery Rose have to put out there before finally winning the title? That was impressive to me. Which was cool. I mean, I thought that she was definitely looking for the victory. She was focused, and that's ultimately what makes her the champ. A great night for UCW action. Summertime Bash, the first ever. I mean, I'd call it a success.
Yeah, even Mother Nature couldn't keep them down.
No, you can't stop the movement. That's what it is. You just can't stop it.
So again, the episode from Friday is being put through its paces, being edited and cut and spliced, and hopefully enjoyable for everybody out there watching. And make sure you go to highspots.com, sign up, give it a watch.
Tell a friend to give it a watch.
Tell a friend, UCW is a very hot promotion right now. The crowds are getting bigger and bigger. The action is getting harder and faster. So, without the support of you, the fans, that's what indie wrestling's about. UCW gives you the best they can every night out that they are able to give you. So, look them up, highspots.com, UCWforever.com. That's Facebook.
Facebook's UCW Forever. Twitter, UCW Forever.
See? We even made it easy for you.
We do everything
even you Orangians can understand.
Hey,
UCW Forever.
Orangians.
Orangian.
You're an Orangian.
No.
Yeah, he's a Culpepperite.
And should you be... let's touch on this real quick. You did bring up the growing feud between the DuPont family and Big Stuff Industries. And the first major battle is about to come to a head. Ashland, Virginia.
Hoops Academy.
A return to Hoops Academy.
That's right.
July 14th.
UCW presents
War. And that's what it's going to be, ladies and gentlemen, as we have Ethan Cross.
Humphrey J. No.
No. It's Ethan Cross, a Tremor. Right. You jumped the gun there.
I apologize.
And then we are going to have the managers collide in a tag team match.
Yes! Finally.
with at least one member of that tag team match that has not been announced yet. So we're going to have a major surprise
Have
coming.
you heard the rumors as to who Mr. DePont's partner could be?
I'm not getting into it.
It's ridiculous.
For all you know, I may very well have had dinner with him already.
I'm just telling you, it's a good possibility that it's going to shock Ashland, Virginia. And KR has said to me, he actually told me just the other day that he has a plan for anything that Humphrey J can dish out. Anything.
So we really are Bizarro if you're talking to KR.
It was so crazy to me. But he told me, he said, I don't want to hear any guff from you. Because, yeah, it's KR. You know?
Right.
But he did say that the president of Act Right or Get Smacked Right has always got a plan for Humphrey J.
The poster is out.
Yes. What?
Beautiful poster.
A fine
captures.
Yes, it truly
what
does.
we're about to go into.
You know,
with a big blank silhouette. That's the word I'm going for. Yeah, silhouette.
Better than a piece of construction paper and a box of crayons. That poster is a shiny piece of material.
I've heard the guy that does the posters can use a crayon like nobody's business.
Well, no, that's the other guy. You use. I know the guy.
The guy is talented. Yeah? He can use crowns.
He could.
Small ones, big ones,
even little skinny ones,
unshaven ones, shaven ones, sharp ones,
pointy ones. The pointy ones. Those are the toughest.
Some with the wrapper, some without.
The edible kind.
Who eats crowns?
Wait, what? No. We can clean that up in post. That's not what I meant to say.
So there it is, ladies. We're going to talk more about that event.
Absolutely.
As we move forward.
Make sure you go to eventbrite.com for your tickets to UCW War. That's going to be, again, July 14th at the Hoops Academy in Ashland, Virginia. Bell time is still 7 p.m. I can tell you I've had a glimpse of the card, and it's going to be an exciting night of UCW action. Go to UCWforever.com or eventbrite.com, keyword UCW. We
will release more of the card as we get it.
Yes, indeed. And, of course, UCW Radio, as I understand it, will be previewing and reviewing each potential matchup and result from both the Summertime Bash and UCW.
And unlike the Lariat, old Doc here is not afraid to keep in touch with his fans.
Oh, is that right?
So hopefully, though, we can get him up and get the bottle on his mouth.
Hey.
For this UCW radio.
All I can tell you is that Mr.
he hits
Lariat,
the sauce.
Hey,
that's what I can tell you.
Only the finest, ripple can be drank by Mr. Lariat himself.
The Lariat told me that Mad Dog 2020 now comes in like 4 flavors.
And 4 packs.
And 4 packs, there you go. So that should tell you how the Lariat is.
Your favorite flavor today.
Beans and Mad Dog 2020. That's the Lariat's
Beans
go-to.
And Mad Dog 2020.
That's it. So you should give, I don't know if you remember the guy from Best Buy today.
Oh, yeah.
Give a shout out.
So, anybody that knows myself or the doctor, Mr. Brian over here, you guys know that we take pride in everything we do when it comes to UCW. We work really hard to make sure...
Oh, and don't forget the dangerous one.
And, of course, the dangerous one himself. All of us take great pride in what we do, but we run into issues along the way, and it takes us a few times to make sure we do some research and get things right. So I go to Best Buy today to look into a potential upgrade for us, because I think is really going to help us in the future. Actually, Brian's the one that put me onto it. He was doing some research as well. And we found out that we need to look into some technical specs on networking. So we go to Best Buy, and I meet this guy over at Best Buy named Buddy, one of the supervisors over there, who starts going over specs with these wireless routers for what we want to do with, broadcasting in 1080p and 4K, baby. That's what we do. But starts talking to me about what can help us as far as saving on potential lag time, on making sure the picture quality is good. Man, this guy was the best. And he even gave me tips and tricks on how to catch us up with all of our faithful fans on every possible streaming venue. He even followed and encouraged his friends to follow the show on some of our multimedia venues. See, that's what I do. That's what I do. I make friends. I influence people.
Yeah, but it took you a long time to get.
We don't need to talk about the social We don't need social
Give me the guy's name. He's a fan of the show.
His name.
Give him a shout out.
His name is Buddy Pilar. He works.
You didn't have to give his last name.
He works at the Fredericksburg Best Buy.
What happens if the stalkers that listen to the show now go to the Fredericksburg Best Buy
guy's gonna have
looking
to
for Buddy?
Fight back all of our fans.
Did you give him a T-shirt? Doc would have given him a T-shirt. Now, next time I go to Best Buy in Fredericksburg,
hey,
I'm going to walk in there. Where's
Buddy?
And as soon as I see Buddy, I'm throwing it in his chest. Put this on, Buddy.
You know what? That's what we do from now on. We're just throwing merch to people. Hey, you over there.
You over there.
Give the thumbs up. They give it back. Give them a shirt.
That's funny. All right, so let's do what we don't really want to do. And
No.
No?
We're going to talk about something first.
all right, let's talk about something. Let's back up.
Finally happened, Brian.
What's that?
We finally have a new IWGP Heavyweight Champion. They said it couldn't be done.
No, I don't know who they is.
They said that he was not meant for prime time. They were
I don't know
wrong.
who they said. Who are they?
One half of the Golden Lovers. Part of the Elite, the Bullet Club, I think still. Kenny friggin' Omega winning the title from Okada. In a matchup that, again, I don't know how these guys do it, but again steals the show and may actually be another Match of the Year candidate. What's this, like the fourth one for these guys?
I believe
Fourth
this
or
might
fifth?
be four.
It's crazy how good these guys are together. But what a hell of a matchup from Dominion.
Mm-hmm.
And on the same night. Another
Say
guy,
it.
they said it couldn't be done. Chris Jericho winning the IWGP Intercontinental title from Naito.
Mm-hmm.
After, I mean, he did hit a low blow. You know, I mean...
What's Doctor? Win if you can, lose if you must, but always cheat.
Cheaters never prosper.
Jericho did. And not only did Jericho win, but Jericho gave a very rousing promo after the match. Where basically he called out Naito and said, unlike him, the belt's not going to leave his side. He's not just going to throw it on the ground and kick it and all that good stuff. So, hats off to Jericho.
What is it about New Japan Pro Wrestling and their entrances, man? Did you see Jericho's entrance for that match?
No, listen.
Crazy.
So, you know, of course, Corner to Corner has a chat room that is very, very, very active.
And passionate. So
yes.
passionate, in fact, that we have to tell Scott that he needs to switch to decaf with it.
There you go, Scott. There's a shout out.
We love you, buddy, but wow.
Drink your decaf. So anyway, luckily and thankfully, not only are they passionate, but they look out for their fellow fan, unlike some people out there in the world.
We're not naming names.
No. There's a lot of people out there that, you know, either play with beach balls or, you know, throw spoilers out there.
Oh, not the
dreaded
baseball
spoilers.
fans.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So anyway, they were at least kind enough to get me through work and home.
Yep.
And wouldn't you know it, I think it was one of the trifecta who actually spoiled it. But
oh, jeez. Now,
yes.
see, why do you have to make it awkward like that? It wasn't on purpose.
Well, yeah, I know it wasn't really on purpose. However, the way the comment read, it was like, oh, well, crap, I can just throw my $8.99 New Japan Pro Wrestling subscription out the window because I just had the match for.
Then the other 2/3 lose. Don't do that.
Well, yeah, but, you know, again, however, once you started, one or two other comments kicked off.
That's
they weren't
true.
really spoilers, but they were kind of like, hey, congrats to Kenny Omega. And you're like, you
Yeah, but see,
son of a-"
that wasn't my doing. My doing was what a hell of a matchup. and what a hell of an event that Dominion was. That's all I said because I knew that it was possible either you or Rob hadn't watched it yet. So I tried to be as delicate as I could, but of course, as soon as I put it out there, everybody responds, and even possibly alternate options for making sure people could watch was perhaps talked about. I can't confirm or deny that. I can just say it was out there.
And the bag, once the cat was out the bag,
and it definitely was out in the big
right.
way.
So then it was like, okay, well, I'm not watching the rest of Dominion. I can watch it later.
Yeah, that's true.
So
That's fair.
next thing you know, you happen to flip through Twitter, and then you get the press conference with Jericho, and you're like, crap, there goes another one, and you only to find out the Young Bucks won, and you're like, crap, there's another one.
Is there anything the Young Bucks can't do, by the way?
No.
IWGP heavyweight tag titles. This is only a couple months after they left the junior division and went to the heavyweights.
Yes.
And these guys aren't really heavyweights. But stepping up in a big, big way.
Yes. And, again, though, I watched Omega Okada lived up to the hype. Spectacular match. Congrats to Omega. Hopefully, maybe with the next New Japan Pro Wrestling in the States event coming up, maybe they'll get a little extension and maybe he'll tour a little bit.
Oh, man. How cool would that be? First off, if New Japan could tour within the States, just an 8-week tour, it's 6 weeks. Let's say 6 weeks. That'd be ridiculous.
Yeah, unlike ROH and MSG. Thanks, WWE.
Yeah, that's
we'll
not
touch
a good
on that
look.
later, though. Yeah, we'll touch on that one later.
Capitalizing on the success of Dominion, we did verify through Twitter, All In 2018 will be live streamed on September 1st. This was confirmed as of June 20th from Cody, Matt, and Nick Jackson, the Young Bucks and Cody Rhodes, all confirming that they have verified this event will be broadcast in some capacity. That is huge.
And we'll make sure that Stan has a credit card able to pick that up when we'll be watching it.
I will definitely make sure we watch it.
May not be able to, may or may not do the show live that night.
Oh, September 1st?
Yeah, we may just let that one ride.
Maybe a birthday party celebration.
Yeah.
I turned a big number that same week. It's a little scary, but...
so may or may not.
Possibly.
May or may not do that one live. Yeah.
So...
wait.
Go right ahead.
While we're still on the Elite, though, major talk right now is that there is a push to continue from E3 where the Elite beat New Day.
What?
In the video game contest.
Oh, no.
That there's talk, rumblings, that the New Day may face the Elite somewhere down the line.
Wow. First off, the chemistry between those two groups, tremendous. The build-up from both sides was great. I mean, just very entertaining. I would love to see it, but I gotta think it would be more comedic than battling like which is fine.
That's fine.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Because this is not a feud.
No,
this
it's
is
just
not
like a rivalry almost.
Yeah, this is not the Elite going to the WWE.
No,
this is simply a dream match between promotions, much like they used to do in the 80s.
But there is a strong rumbling right now that 3 out of that Elite are really being strongly courted right now.
Oh, there's no doubt.
And after September 1, if that pressure doesn't elevate, I would be very surprised.
After September 1, listen, I would imagine somewhere after September 1, the money, the capital will be there.
Yeah, that they would
for a brand new Fed.
Oh. Bullet Club Wrestling.
It doesn't matter what you call it, but think about it. Cody, Omega, the Bucks, bring the Gorillas, any number
Chase
of spectacular
Adam Page, Marty Scurll.
indie wrestlers.
man.
Because if lightning strikes, they're going to do it more than once.
Well, and that's the thing, and that's why I said there's got to be a lot of money being thrown around, because the closer we get to September 1st, you know that those up north are getting nervous. They gotta be. You gotta be watching, because you know that if this causes enough groundswell, this will have a bigger dent than New Japan will.
Yeah, but I don't think they're getting nervous. I honestly don't. Something tells me I am starting to buy into your theory.
Don't do it.
Yes.
Don't do it, Brian. Come back from the
that
fight.
the Vin Man may be
in
there somewhere.
Well, here's the thing, and what we've seen of Triple H so far at the helm, and we're not really getting to that part yet, but with him at the helm, he's been open to everything pretty much.
Right.
Tournaments, women being bigger parts of the show, indie stars competing, indie promotions being broadcast on the network. I mean, all the rumblings we've heard just in the past couple months.
Right.
So why wouldn't it make perfect sense to say, hey, you know what? Maybe we don't acknowledge you guys, but here's some money. Do what you want to do.
Well, not only that, but think about it. So, if All In were to clear, I don't know, $10 million, right?
Yeah.
And the WWE's not in, then they walk away with 10, right? All 10 million, right? After, of course, talent and all the bills are paid.
Yeah.
But if you're Vince and you say, "Hey, we want to help fund, we're going to give you this percentage, but we want this percentage back," and you take maybe 4 of that 10, now they're down to 6, and it's not quite as big as a purse as the 10. So
I would like to see it. I mean, even Vince, to me, strikes me as the kind of guy. I mean, this is the same guy that funded Paul Heyman.
Sure.
And
he's done it before.
Yeah.
He'll do it again.
He did
Evolve.
He did it with Smoky Mountain.
Smoky Mountain. Why wouldn't you?
Ask Jim Cornette. And Cornette is no huge fan of Vince. He doesn't hate him, but he's not a huge fan. But he even admits that Vince put money out there because he wanted to see the overall product, not just WWE, but the overall product grow. And I think that speaks volumes to what we're seeing in the industry. And if September 1 happens as big as it could, and the tickets did get sold out in a pretty short amount of time.
But they went to scalpers.
Yeah.
So that should tell you something.
That's a whole other rant for a whole other story.
But that should tell you something.
Yeah.
That the vibe for this show, that it sells out so quickly, and then they're automatically put on sale, jacked up, and they're still being bought.
Yeah.
So. Oh wait. Well, again, while I'm digressing there.
Keep going.
So much. So, check your Hot Topics if you're into pops. The exclusive Young Bucks.
Yeah, and the first ever.
Right, is in Hot Topics, popping up now. Not exclusive. I guess you saw the Hot Topics variant.
Oh yeah,
because
there's a variant.
Yeah, it's exclude. That's it. It's exclusive to Hot Topics. It is out. Seen pictures from the Young Bucks on my hand, but they're in the stores.
Hey.
They're in the stores, and you can start pre-ordering your pops of Cody, Omega, and the Bucks, because I just got all 3 of them pre-ordered at my local GameStop.
Before they
hopefully
in Hot Topic,
and hopefully won't be sold.
Yeah,
by the time the pops come out next month.
Yeah. GameStop had a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, hey, that'll teach you.
I've read on the internet what the
$5.99.
offers are. Here's what I'll do for you guys. You know what? You seem like you're in okay condition.
No wear, no tear.
Yeah. $20 in store credit. How about that? No, yeah.
Oh, you want cash? $10.
Yeah, $10. Have a great day.
Yeah.
Hey, we do have an unfortunate thing to talk about. The untimely passing of a legend, one of the most legendary big men in the professional wrestling industry. Big Van Vader, Leon White, passing away this week. What a huge loss to the industry. Didn't want to start the show on a bad note, but definitely have to mention it. I mean, Vader, former world champion, the guy that was dominant pretty much through the 90s in WCW. I mean, he broke a guy's back during WCW Saturday Night. Remember when he breaks Joe Thurman's back after he powerbombs him on the outside?
And he's responsible for an ear.
Losing, only Mick Foley's ear, ripping it off his head. Here's a guy that takes a lariat from Stan Hansen, popping his eyeball out of his head, popping it back in, and continues to fight. I mean, you don't get any tougher than that. I mean, maybe the only guy that rivals that is Steve Williams, as far as toughness. Maybe. But yeah, huge loss. I think, on top of that, huge missed opportunity for while he was still with us for WWE, because he should have been put in the Hall of Fame before this happened.
Oh yeah, I would imagine though that overseas incident, probably is the only thing preventing him from going in there. There's probably just bad feelings, because basically, if I remember right, the way it was taken was almost like an insult to a country.
Yeah,
and of course, now the WWE is trying to make a foothold in that region, so maybe that comes back to haunt them. But it was
a kayfabe moment,
right?
I mean, it was Vader doing basically what Dr. D. David Schultz did. For lack of a better term, he bitch slaps a host of an Arabian talk show, and after that. He gets arrested. Remember, he gets held in Saudi Arabia for over a week. They couldn't broadcast Monday Night Raw in the form they wanted to. They had to remove him from all sorts of shows. And at the time, and this is why it's controversial, at the time, he plays kayfabe to a T, proving that, or basically stating that he meant to do it, that he was trying to hurt the guy, just doing what Vader would do, and like I think any natural bad guy at that time would have done as well. But it did. It got him in hot water with the office, and then ultimately, between that and his unfortunate injuries of his shoulder, I think it shortened his time in the company. But you have to look at the overall career. I mean, he's one of the first Americans, next to, I believe, Hulk Hogan, to win the IWGP and All Japan Heavyweight Championships, and then to be a tag champion.
I mean, yeah, it wasn't... So, when I first... And of course, this is back in the day.
Yeah.
For you youngins, before what you call the internet.
I've been reading these rumors on the internet.
What? Yeah, back in the day, there was no internet. There was no Facebook, no Twitter. God forbid, there were Instagrams. You had what's called rotary phones. Look it up.
Google
youngins, it. Yeah, Google it. But he is one, that I remember reading the magazines, and every once in a while there'd be an article out of New Japan or out of Japan or
this big monster.
Big monster, right?
Remember he's called
looked apart.
Baby Bull at one point, and then Bull Payne, and then Vader, or Big Van Vader was ultimately what he took on.
Right, and then he finally shows up in WCW, and he's got this huge mass that breathes smoke. And you're like,
awesome.
What is that?
He was so
that is like cool.
Yeah. He came out, remember, he would wear that big, huge Mastodon mask. He'd put it out there, he'd take his knee like he did, and he would just like wave to the crowd and would blow smoke everywhere. And I remember reading a biography about him where he's talking about how that damn thing would always break and something would go wrong. That was why he stopped carrying it to the ring. But then, I mean, you look at his feud with Cactus Jack, that's where Mick Foley loses his ear. His feud with Sting, which still stands the test of time. He even had a memorable feud with Hulk Hogan when Hogan started in WCW. Ric Flair, his matchup at Starrcade in '93.
At least we forget Ron Simmons.
Oh, God. If there's no Vader, we never see Ron Simmons win that title.
You're probably right.
I bet you Ron Simmons was especially emotional about the loss, because Vader had a very, very strong bond with his brothers in the locker room. I mean, anybody from Diamond Dallas Page, Stone Cold, Mick Foley, Sting. He and Sting, as a matter of fact, I mean, the story of how Sting went from basically nothing to something as far as his personal life. It's pretty well known how he basically found God and was able to turn everything around. But he was able to do that with Vader, which I never knew. Jesse White, Vader's son, was on TMZ, and he talked about how Sting, also known as Steve Gordon, was a huge part of Vader's life in helping him cope with some of the realities of retirement and stepping away from the ring. So it's pretty cool. I like reading stories like that. I'm a big fan of redemption stories. I'm a sucker for that stuff.
And I'll also throw out there that, once again, I was in Orange, and before the Lariat, showed up, there were some words about Vader from some of the talent. Every last one of them said he was perhaps one of the nicest guys that you would ever meet. So that just goes to show you, what a person he was, and it's truly a loss.
Oh yeah.
So
remember Bret Hart's movie Wrestling with Shadows, where Bret talks about Vader, how he's a big teddy bear. I'll never forget that. And
he like scared a lot, or
he would be like in the locker room, and Bret would sneak up on him and make him jump, and like there were times where Vader was in. If you remember, there was a time where Vader was in the WWE title picture. It was after his feud with Michaels. It was during like Fatal 4-Ways and stuff, and Bret Hart would scare him during matches. Like he would sell a shot like he had really gotten hurt. Then Vader would come to him after the match and be like, "Are you all right?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm just fine." But he would do it on purpose just to get reactions out of him. And you'll never be able to forget like the run that he had with Harley Race as his manager. All of those things. I mean, there's so many different moments you can point out. But yeah, Corner to Corner definitely mourns the loss of a huge star in Big Van Vader. And our thoughts with his son Jesse and the rest of the White family. So, with that, and of course, we have a slightly shortened edition of Corner to Quarter this evening. We got lots to talk about still, but here's something that I thought we'd go ahead and get into. Brian alluded to it, and I thought this is worth sharing. So, Jim Ross, we've all admitted we listen to his podcast from time to time on the Ross Report, and NXT TakeOver Chicago, tremendous event. Another time where NXT completely outshines the main roster. I don't even think you can call it main roster anymore. I just think you could say NXT outshines Raw and SmackDown. I think that's probably the best way you can say it.
Yeah, you have NXT and then everybody else.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I mean,
so it was crazy.
Triple H took a little bitty product and blew it up and said, "Okay, here we go," and it beats Raw and SmackDown every time.
And again, who would have thunk? Who would have thunk?
Really, it wouldn't have, because remember, it was like a game show.
Well, not just that. Again, I can remember Triple H, and the bad, negative stories you would hear about. Oh,
yeah, all of them.
Now I've never met the guy, but you would just hear what a total
jackass he
was. Right. And then somewhere along the way, he goes to the game, and it's like not only does he evolve in his career, but you stop hearing the negative stories. He starts to do what you should do at the top. Understand that you're a flag bearer, you carry the torch, the whole company's on your back. And now look at him, there's videos of him and Stephanie, being at ringside, going up to fans, young fans.
Yeah, when they, as a bad guy making a fan cry, then
right,
says, goes after the game. It's all right, man.
Yeah, and not only that, but you hear what a brilliant mind he was. And just like Dusty, you hear Dusty and Kevin Sullivan and some of these other guys, who were right brilliant minds, right? Yeah. And he truly, this is like. To me, NXT is Triple H. Triple H is NXT, right? So once Dusty passes and Triple H takes over, you can almost see it fall because you think maybe Dusty has is the mastermind behind it, but it's survived. It's gotten bigger. It keeps growing.
I mean, you got Triple H in charge. You got Shawn Michaels in the back as the agent. And this is what I just read the other day. He wants Hall and Nash to be backstage too. So the Clique not only rules it in the 90s in the ring, But now...
But they finally get their company.
Yeah. And the Hart family
you know,
is so
again,
upset.
though, right. But again, though, you know,
they
Nash,
were the smartest guys in the industry at the
Nash
time.
is supposed to be a very intelligent
And Scott
wrestling
Hall
mind.
is
Yeah.
extremely good at the psychology
So-
and the promo. Not to say that Nash or Michaels or even Triple H isn't, but
Right.
all of these guys are just brilliant guys.
Right.
And I think, honestly, well, nobody wishes for this because I hope that Vince is around forever as far as health-wise. But the guy, he's getting older. You can't deny what's probably going to happen at some point. But it's good to know that the company will be in good hands going forward. And we have seen subtle hints of change through the WWE as Triple H starts to put more and more control onto other things, like 205 Live.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they made a lot of mistakes with 205. They did the Cruiserweight Classic, which was a great tournament. They made the announcement that 205 was going to be its own show. They would spotlight it on Raw, which wasn't so bad, except you weren't really having a reason to tune in on Tuesdays. Well, Triple H finally gets hold of 205 Live, and all of a sudden it's must-see TV on the network. But you think that the guys on the outside would be more negative when it comes to NXT because of just how they are about up north. All the other companies seem to be. But they aren't. As a matter of fact, because of the fact that Triple H does business the way he does, companies like Evolve and PWG and all these other spots that normally would have nothing to do with the McMahon product, they're getting spotlighted on WWE and NXT. So, getting kind of back to the original topic here, Jim Ross is talking about NXT TakeOver in Chicago, which again was a great show, talking about fans bringing beach balls. So here's the quote, because this one I wanted to get on the air here. Whoever brought the damn beach ball and punted that around at a match should have their ass kicked. How can you be, I'm a fan, I'm a real fan, I got a t-shirt that's got a wrestler's picture on it. Yeah, right. Why would you bring a beach ball to a live event unless you just needed the attention? That you need to tell your buddies, hey, you see that beach ball, man? Hey, dude, guess who brought it? No, you're an idiot. So no more beach balls, please. You disrespected the people in the match. That's not the game. So no more beach balls, please. And if you see a beach ball, stick a fork in it, like Monsoon would say. It's done. Probably the smartest advice given to fans by anybody within the industry, I think, from Jim Ross there. I hate when the beach balls are out there. I get it. You're at the event. You should have fun. I'm fine with that. But, come on. The beach balls, it's just like the chance of CM Punk when you don't like the matches
stop.
in the
I'm
ring.
not buying that one from you.
I like CM Punk.
Right, and
I'm
you
a
would be
CM
right
Punk
there
supporter.
chanting CM Punk.
No.
Yes. Maybe not the beach ball.
The only time that
Maybe
you would
not
get
the beach
behind
ball.
that is if you were watching a Roman Reigns match and they'd be chanting CM
I
Punk.
did not say... Well, that may...
Exactly.
That
I
may
win.
get me. Yeah,
Victory.
you win. However, you, on the other hand...
Oh, I'm a CM Punk
would
fanatic.
go
That's
for the CM Punk chant.
I'm a CM Punk fan. Although, not that he listens to us all the time, but hey, Phil, CM Punk, maybe UFC, not your bag. I hate seeing
But
anybody.
he's only had 2 fights.
Yeah, but
Isn't it 2 fights? I think it's 2
he's
fights.
gotten the ever-loving snot beat out of him. Now, I will say this: the first time they stopped the fight on him, he was getting beat up too bad. They stopped it. This time, I give him credit, but he toughed his way through the entire fight, and it was highly probable that they could have gone either way.
Yeah, but
he took a beating.
He probably should be like on an undercard instead of letting Dana White use his name and then put him somewhere where he's just going to get to live and slap on him. Because for all you know, the guys that he is going against are 20-year veterans of combat sports.
Well, and it wouldn't surprise me. And let's not forget, I mean, Punk is actually a Muay Thai expert. He's got a lot of training in martial arts and everything. I'm not trying to put the guy down.
Yeah, but again, though, these guys train in 5 or 6.
Yeah, they do.
Different. What's the word I'm looking for here?
It was just disheartening to see his face all hamburger meated up because of the fact that somebody just played tag with his face and his fists.
Hey, I'll give it to him. I'm not necessarily saying that UFC is his bag either. However,
it takes real guts to do it.
Well, not just that, but it's going to take time, and that's what people don't understand. this is fight number 2 against people that have been doing it.
So, not that we watch a lot of UFC, because we don't. You know, every now and again we'll catch a little bit. But fight 3 happens, and he gets made mincemeat out of. Do you tell him it's done now? Or do you give him another one?
You let him go until he decides.
Oh my God.
Again, though, I mean...
Punk being the guy that he is, he'll go 6 fights and get his tail whipped each fight.
But think about it, though.
He's getting paid, though.
I mean, Punk...
He's making money.
Punk knows 1,000 holds. He just has...
That's Dino Machino.
Well, whatever. He just has to put it together and show them that a front face lock in wrestling is no different than a front face lock in... UFC, and the moment he hooks it and makes somebody else tap, it's money.
Don't get me wrong, I would have loved to have seen him do some kind of version of the Anaconda Vice or some crazy thing.
Are drop kicks allowed?
I mean, dude, nobody would have popped louder than me. I would have rang through the East Coast, me jumping up and down, screaming for Punk, because that would have been amazing.
I mean, I've been there. I've been put in holds, and they're not no joke. And that's all he has to figure.
Yeah.
He has to. His mind has to start thinking faster.
And I think
and
it's
that's
possible.
all it's going to take.
I'm definitely not saying he couldn't do it, but after the beating he took the first time, which was just not right, somebody should have said, "Hey, look, let's hold off on this one. Let's wait a couple more weeks or something." And then this next fight, I mean, Jackson just made his face look. It was bad. I felt bad for him.
It's money. I don't agree with it, but y'all all have to understand.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what discipline he knows. If he doesn't know 5 or 6.
Well, you know the old saying, everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the face.
Yeah, that's true, too. I believe that happened to Ronda. When she lost she lost that title, she got popped right in the mush.
I'm glad you brought her up. Outside of the way her match went...
You're going to make me mad right now.
Outside of the way her match went at the end, how good did Ronda Rousey freaking look in her match with Nia Jax?
Well, that's the problem. In order to get to the end, we have to go through the rest of the match.
Right.
And... All right, so first off...
showing, though.
Yeah, it's a great showing. However, Ronda, do yourself a favor. All right, get some mat work in, okay? Take some backdrops, a suplex or two.
That Samoan drop I thought killed her.
Yeah,
I thought she was
every
dead.
time she fell, she looked like a dead fish, right?
Yeah.
And it's not like everybody else doing it. Like when she would hit, she would instantly turn red.
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Well, that's the thing. Like you're waiting. Part of you wants to see it happen just to see her snap and somebody get just totally roughed up.
No.
Part of you doesn't because you know it will be just a massacre.
Right. Well,
like if she snapped on Nia Jax going down. You're done.
If she snaps on any of them, I think they're going
Alexa
down.
Bliss.
Oh, Alexa's done.
You think that spot where Alexa does the arm thing is gross? No, she's gonna really do the arm thing.
Yeah. I mean, listen.
Although I could see that happening. I could see that happening in a matchup between her and Ronda, and then Ronda falling for it and losing.
Oh, of course.
Couldn't you just see
that?
Of
course. She's done it multiple times.
I told you that all of a sudden here comes the roll up.
Yeah, she's done it multiple times, but yet somebody's going to fall for it.
Right.
You know. All right. So my take. All right. So she's raw. Right?
Yeah.
Very raw. But she has after the this is her second one.
Yeah.
That I've paid attention to. She has a great, tremendous upside.
A huge upside, really.
Yes. So if y'all remember, before WrestleMania,
we were
not on board.
All skeptic.
Yeah.
We were like,
not on board.
I mean, we wanted to see her do well, but we just didn't. One, it's a mixed tag, which is always potential recipe for disaster. And she's brand new. We hadn't seen any match at all.
Right. And I thought she pulled off WrestleMania. I think she took a huge, huge leap at Money in the Bank.
How about that deal she does to Nia Jax? Pure muscle. Just throwing her over the hip. And Nia didn't... You can see sometimes where they kind of go with that roll. Nope, not that time.
Yeah, well, I think that might have been what you were alluding to earlier about the snap.
Yeah.
I think...
maybe she had that in
her. So I don't know if she... Again, and I'm not taking nothing away from her.
No.
All right, so huge upside. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think her stamina's not quite there yet.
See,
Because listen, you pay attention again to the hit she took, and there are several times it looks like she's not only gassed, but she is sucking it in as hard and as fast as she can get. But that's what I'm talking about with the throw.
Yeah,
it was a very sloppy throw, and it looked like it just crept up on her, and she's like, "Oh crap!
Yeah.
I know what to do."
Right.
And she, instead of letting it play out the way it should have, she's just like, you know what? Because it was sloppy.
I don't think Nia knew how to take that.
Right.
Like, I think in the heat of the moment, you know, she's ready to do the throw, and she doesn't. There's no cue, and she just muscles her. Which, hey, shout out to Nia Jax for being able to go, because Nia Jax looked really good during this matchup too.
Oh yeah,
you can't take anything away from it.
No, this was probably one of Nia's better matches.
Yeah, I mean, right up there with the gauntlet match that she did, where she was manhandling people exactly how we wanted to see Nia run. She did it.
And this one, don't forget, Ronda being so green, she had to carry the match.
And she did a great
quite
job.
A bit, yeah.
I think Ronda, at this point, as long as they protect her like they have, which I think is smart, you can print money off of her name being on a card.
Again,
I'm glad for it.
Guess what's going to take place at the huge card in Australia?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Who's one of the names mentioned? Ronda Rousey.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to make a killing off of that.
And isn't that Alexa Bliss?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's her first match after her suspension.
Right.
Which is the smartest thing you can do, by the way. You got Alexa Bliss, who just cost your biggest star on that roster right now. I mean, really, if you look at just how over, maybe next to Braun Strowman.
Mm-hmm. And, you know, this was a heated debate on corner to corner, and Little Miss Bliss seems to polarizes the chat rooms there. But
I like Alexa, man. I like what she does. I think she's a great bad guy. I think she turns up at all the parts where you hate to see her, but you have to be like, man, that's just smart.
Yeah, but here's the problem. All right, first of all, she did not need Money in the Bank.
Okay, yeah.
She didn't. You could have given it to one of the other participants who it would have benefited more.
Yeah.
The second, so you as a company have come out and said that Ronda's not ready. Mm-hmm. Because you jumped the gun a little bit maybe on this Money in the Bank match between Ronda and Nia. And then, I think it was after that you hear rumors that she's not competing singles. She's going to be in tag teams, right?
Multi-man matches,
right? And this, of course, again happens after you make the announcement. You realize, she's not quite ready. Now, what do? It's just like I predicted on the chat.
Yeah, that's true.
We are going to see a triple threat match, probably in the near future.
Probably SummerSlam.
Nia Jax, Alexa Bliss
and Ronda
Rousey. Now, you tell me, what benefit does that have for any of them?
I don't know if you can call it a benefit, but what it does is it protects Ronda a little bit longer.
No.
I don't think it helps Nia. Although I'm going to say it, and she did have a great showing, but I'm still not sold that Nia Jax is the person that should be in that spot. I think she is great, and I think they are finding ways to make her look better, but I'm still not sold. I still think, honestly, you've got Sasha Banks, you've got Bayley, you've got Ruby Riott, you've got so many women that, honestly, in my opinion, should be in a better role, that Nia is not the person for that. So, I also don't think that... I happen to agree with you. I don't think Alexa needed the briefcase. As much as I think it's cool that she's champ in that fashion, it doesn't help her because she doesn't need to be in that role. She could be the kind of thing like the New Day does and just be the hostess of SummerSlam, and she'd still be just as open.
Sure. Well, yeah, I mean... But she could have very easily not won the Money in the Bank, come out on Monday, jumped in Nia's face, bullied her a little
he
bit
got
again,
a
and got a title match.
Yeah, that's true.
You
That's
know?
true.
And again, this is the problem.
Yeah.
Okay. So again, Ronda does a tremendous job.
Mm-hmm.
Nia does a tremendous job at Money in the Bank, as best as they can possibly do. So the next outing, let's put her with Alexa Bliss. Different style of opponent.
Right.
Alexa may not be able to carry her like Nia does because, listen, Alexa to me is not the greatest champion out there. To me, she's not what everybody says she is. Her last title run, how often did she defend it?
Not often. As a matter of fact, I think it was well over 30 days between the defenses. I don't know the exact count, but I know it was well over 30.
Slim to none.
Maybe a couple months.
Yeah, slim to none. So she is. Her entire reign is based off of popularity.
Well,
that's it.
But here's the thing.
Oh my goodness! If Alexa Bliss pops up, everybody goes.
Yeah,
bad.
That's his thing. Like, first off, she's a great bad guy. She does the heel very well. That's her thing. But it doesn't matter. She comes to the ring. That music hits. Everybody's on their feet.
Right.
And it's crazy to me because what you're saying isn't wrong. She's not the most talented female they have.
Right.
She's maybe, if there's a top 5, she'd maybe be 5th. Or even 6th, just outside of it. But what she does have is this innate charisma that just pops around.
But again, Ronda doesn't need charisma.
Oh, very
Ronda
true.
needs a ring general to carry her in Australia to give her that experience.
Who does that? Because Sasha can.
Maybe Natty could have.
Oh, definitely Natty. Yeah.
Bailey could have. Sasha couldn't.
No, Sasha.
Ruby would have given her a match more her style.
Yeah, and that would have been a better match.
Right.
Ooh, Ronda and Ruby.
It'll happen eventually.
You know what? How do you
this is going to happen eventually.
Who do you pick on that? Because I like both. I'm a huge fan of both. I'd wear a Ruby Riott t-shirt. That's how much of a fan I am.
Oh, my God. You're that guy. That guy. But again, so anyway...
You have a Rosemary t-shirt, sir.
But I've never worn it. I got it from Pro Wrestling Crate. Best subscription service out there.
Also an affiliation with highspots.com.
Ding! Do you love how I just put it all together? Hey, catch UCW on highspots.com. Ding! Oh, did you hear the phone? Yes! I hope we got that. That's great.
Well timed.
Anyway,
who better to show than us?
So look at it. So within a matter of months, because you know what's happening next. The next big show, I believe, is Australia, right? Isn't that coming up?
Well, you got
before the pay-per-view.
Rules.
Oh, Extreme Rules.
You got Extreme Rules, then you have the Australian show, then you got SummerSlam.
Okay, so stop right there. Yeah. So Nia is liable to get invoked the rematch for Extreme Rules.
Yeah,
right.
That one we've already got confirmed.
Right. Which there's no absolute way possible that little Alexa should beat an angry Nia. Right? No way possible.
Unless, of course, Ronda hits the ring and clobbers Alexa.
Okay,
costing her the
thank you.
Yeah.
So guess what happens now?
At SummerSlam, you've got the triple threat.
Right.
Yep.
So again, you don't put her on Raw to get the much needed training. Or, action, so she can start to develop these skills.
Right.
You just go to Extreme Rules, have her do the run-in. Hopefully she won't get hurt. First big run-in.
Or hurt anyone.
Yeah, first big run-in. Then in Australia, she faces Alexa. Hopefully she doesn't get hurt. Only to go into a triple threat.
How about those ground and pound shots she threw on Nia? Nia's got her face down in the mat, and all she can do is keep her hands up over her ears because Ronda is she's throwing ham bones. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that's the thing, and we're just about out of time for the evening, but Ronda Rousey continues to be, and I'm glad that we were wrong about it.
Hey, we still got like a half hour. We started a little late.
I was looking to put us toward, we can do that. Why not?
It's a 2-hour show.
Hey, you're right. Give them what they asked for.
Give them what they asked for.
I'm glad we were wrong about Ronda. I think what really surprised me about Ronda Rousey was that, to your point, they're not letting her get that much needed experience on Raw. But at the same time, if she has a glaring weakness, which we haven't really seen except for mic work, and they put her on Raw with it, there's not a town out there anymore that won't pick up on it and won't boo her out of the building. And I think Triple H is terrified.
No, I don't think so. I think she is going to become Alexa Bliss to Alexa Bliss. You know what I'm saying?
You think so?
Where Alexa, all she has to do is pop the curtain, the crowd goes nuts.
Oh,
it's going to be the same thing.
Yeah.
She pops the curtain, the crowd goes.
But
Listen, some of the audience, they could care if she can wrestle, good on the mic, or what. It's her look.
Yeah.
She's a good-looking cat.
Oh, I hadn't even gotten to that part. I mean, yeah, she's gorgeous, but that's not really the thing.
Is a good-looking girl.
Yes. She is.
Again, she has not shown the greatest talent. She's shown that she can mix it up, and she has potential. But most of them are going back to her UFC days.
Yeah.
Where she was the number one.
Mm-hmm.
Hoping it'll translate.
Yeah.
And she is getting pops for that. She will continue to get pops until she literally
There's
has
that,
to
but
go.
I also think that the development, they are somewhat, I wouldn't say stunting, but they're hurting her development.
Sure.
I think that easily you could put her on Raw and tag matches and stuff to help her get better. I thought, and I'm curious your opinion, I thought the segment with her and Alexa, just before she gets suspended and she just basically destroys everyone, and then not just power bombs Alexa to the table. That's not the thing. I mean, it happened, but we're talking about starts at one side of the ring with Alexa up in the air, walks to that part of the ring, and then drives her down. Now, Alexa's not a heavy person, but that's still some pretty damn good strength and balance.
Yeah,
That's
but
almost ridiculous.
But so if she is more comfortable with muscle, why not have her style muscle? See, you could have made the Nia match believable if you just simply had her go in there and say, Nia, whatever you do, don't bleed. But she's going to go in there
just hit
and
you.
she's going to hit you.
Yeah.
When you hit her back, but that's all
her.
she's going to do.
Well, that's kind of like they did with Shamrock. Remember,
Mm-hmm.
they let him just basically punch at people until finally they felt more comfortable that he was relaxed and that he was able to go, and they let him wrestle. But that's what he did for about 6 months when he first started with the company.
And you could have bought it because you know her background.
Part of me expected it to be, only because it was Ronda Rousey, a quick hit throw into the armbar, match is done. Like, not even, Nia doesn't even get out of the gate. Mm-hmm. Because, although I think the crowd would have crapped on it, I don't know. I mean, the reaction she got for everything, like when she went off the top rope, first off, how nervous are you? You're watching your multi-million-dollar investment.
Well, didn't she have trouble?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, remember she almost fell the first time. But she gets up. Nia did a great job selling and stalling in that moment. And then when she gets up for that cross body, even when she's getting ready to dive, I'm like, oh, this isn't going to go well. Right. But she, Nia catches her. They hit the landing perfectly. It was a great back bump there that they did. Honestly, if Ronda continues at this pace, I don't know. I think it's very feasible, though, that she could be one of the best they've ever had.
Sure. But everybody just has to be patient.
Oh, sure,
and let it go. I am, again, although she's had 2 good outings, I'm still under the thought that they should have put her in NXT.
I would have liked to have seen that strictly because, one, I would have liked to have seen her interact with Baszler. But also, I think she could have really benefited from the slower pace of how they do shows. I mean, Nikki Cross, Kairi Sane, Shayna Baszler, Dakota Kai, Bianca Belair, all of these different people that would have essentially prepared her for the main roster so much better. I'm not saying she hasn't adapted very well, because I think she has. I think she's definitely proved us wrong. But I also think that you're right. I think NXT would have been a better playground for her.
Yeah, I'm not going to say she's proven us wrong.
Yeah.
Because she's only had 2 matches. I'm just saying you could see an improvement.
Oh, yeah. I can see that. Yeah.
I mean, if her biggest competition to date is Nia, and she hasn't gone up against, again, the Ruby Riots, the Sasha Banks.
There is footage available online. I've seen clips from WWE.com, and I've also seen footage from fans. at different house show events where she's competed in multi-woman matchups, where her actions in the ring are just crisp.
Yeah.
We're talking with ladies like Mickie James.
Yeah, but you're also talking multi.
Oh yeah,
women
yeah.
matches.
I mean, and that's the key. What they're trying to do is find a way. Okay, let's get her some experience.
Right.
Let's get her seasoned, but we need to find a way to do it carefully.
Right.
So that way, if there's, because I think once they saw she was not going to make it on the mic, they knew they couldn't put Heyman with her. She's too popular. I mean, Heyman just would take away. So you can't do that. You got to find a way to protect her as best you can without exposing any other weaknesses. So I bet you you're probably right. It's in the stamina or cardio department, they probably have to find a way to protect her.
Yeah, listen, I'm not saying she doesn't have it, but I'll lay money she doesn't have it
like she should.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I could see that.
That takes time.
Yeah, and it takes. That's one of those things you don't learn on a treadmill or on a run. That's something you learn in the ring. I mean, look at what Cena does. Cena's the only guy I've ever been able to see go out for injury for months, come back, and not get blown up. 25 minutes, not get blown up.
And not only that, but he doesn't sweat.
No, he doesn't. That's actually a really good observation.
He does not sweat. So.
Jack to the gills.
Yeah.
He just stays that way. And hey, I mean, we hope that he and Nikki can eventually get their stuff together and work it out. All us Tola Ballas fans.
Oh my goodness! Again, one of those guys.
I don't watch it. I love seeing the commercials where they always are like, and the crushing weight of love. And like, wait, it's John Cena, for crying out loud! You can't do this.
All right, so.
I wasn't really looking to go over the whole card for Money in the Bank. I don't think there's enough spotlight.
I say move on. Let's move on. We're gonna try the new format. We're just gonna try and tag as many people as we can.
Takeover was great. Undisputed Era versus Danny Burch and Oney Lorcan was a great matchup. I think they've got to calm down with the apron spots and spots to the outside though. That suplex from Orkin to I think is it O'Reilly or Fish that's in there?
Fish is out.
Okay, so O'Reilly gets suplexed from in to outside the ring to the floor. That is so dangerous. I mean, it was a great looking spot. Don't get me wrong, the crowd reacted like crazy, but man, how many times are you going to keep tempting fate on these types of shots before finally something horrible happens? It's great to watch. It's like, oh my god, I can't believe it, but it's also like, oh my god, someone's going to die doing that. I mean, that's how serious those shots are. So there's that, and then there's, I'm sure you saw it, the chair that came into play, where a chair shot was delivered and hit the dude right square in the head, and we haven't seen that months, maybe a couple years. Chair shot to the head.
Straight to the head? That would probably be Mick Foley.
I mean,
Rock and Mick
you got to
Foley.
be so careful, and NXT treads in different water anyway, the way they do things. Somebody that really disappointed me was Lars. Not ready for prime time.
Yeah, how about
what
was it? The kick that wasn't?
Yeah, the fade to black completely misses his face. And to me, if you're the ref, if you're the agent in the back, you tell that ref, hey, you tell him keep going and redo it.
Right.
And he sells it. Give credit to Black for making the cover, ending the match, and getting the heck out of Dodge, but a horrible way to end it.
Yeah.
I think maybe nerves got the better of him. You know, he freaked out. Okay, God, I gotta fall, and he falls. But outside, I mean, how do you do that? I don't know. Only from what we've done with UCW can I say how quickly stuff can go wrong, and you have to react and find a way to make it work. But I still can't imagine being in the ring and having to do that. You know, for rope busts. You know what I mean, or something like that.
Tough.
It's just like, how do you recover from that? So I'm not trying to criticize, but
you
so
don't
bad.
really recover from a rope breaking. You're on your butt.
I just didn't get the feeling he was ready for that spot.
I won't say he wasn't ready, but again, you're dealing with probably different stamina levels.
Sure.
Aleister Black, I mean, he appears to be a machine.
What about Velveteen Dream and Ricochet? If Velveteen Dream isn't not only on the main roster, but holding a belt within his first 6 months of that debut, they've done it wrong. And I wasn't sold on Velveteen Dream when it first came out. I'm like, oh god, it's another Goldust character. Wonderful! Great, you've ruined another one. Nope. Patrick Clark takes Velveteen Dream and creates one of the biggest stars NXT has ever had.
But if you're Triple H, do you let him go to the main roster? Because think about the bodies that are now piling up.
Oh, yeah. Up at the top.
Up at the top.
I wouldn't. Honestly, I think it's smarter to eventually have him face off with Black, beat him, win the title, and carry it for a length of time. Be kind of like what Nakamura did. Carry it for a length of time until then he decides, all right, let's go ahead and move him up now.
Yeah, but to me, there comes a point when your roster is almost perfect for what you want to do.
Yeah. That
you shouldn't let anybody.
Same thing for Ricochet.
Well, no, I would take Ricochet. Ricochet is tremendous. And I think Ricochet is the guy, just like Leo Rush, that when they finally go to 205, 205 is going to become NXT in the fact that it's truly going to be must-see TV, and you're not going to be able to take your eyes on it.
I want to see Ricochet and Leo Rush in one-on-one.
I want to see Ricochet and Cedric.
Oh, God, yes.
Mustafa Ali.
Stop it. I'm not ready.
We're not ready. We're not ready. I mean, the general American wrestling fan has never seen anything like 205 Live once you put Leo and Ricochet on.
Could you imagine if Ospreay got signed? Ospreay and Ricochet and Leo Rush, same roster, same show, in a triple threat. I mean, that's money. You just print money off of that.
Yeah.
Make it a fatal four-way, put Cedric in it, now you've got gold. Hell, you got platinum. It's printing diamonds. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Again, if you got the right booker, the right writers, 205 eclipses NXT as your number one show.
I don't know, man. I mean, we saw the turn. We saw 205's turn from obscurity to stardom in one night.
In one match.
Yeah.
Cedric versus Mustafa.
Yep. We saw the crowd turn. I mean, there were people leaving during the show. That match starts and people start coming back down to watch.
And you finally do the right thing with the title. No offense to the original, first two title holders, Kendrick and.
I thought TJP was okay. I didn't like what they did with Kendrick though.
But however, there wasn't the electricity. That you have with Cedric.
It was like you were just honestly once they put it on TJP, you were waiting for them to let Cedric win the belt. Mm-hmm. That was the thing. You just wanted to see Cedric win it.
Right.
But, I mean, I think with what we've seen, with that matchup, Dream and Ricochet hitting that dive, remember in the teaser promo, where he dives over the top rope, lands on his feet, and then just stands there with his arms out. It's like, oh, this match is going to be ridiculous. Mm-hmm. And sure as hell as it was, you don't make matches like that just off the cuff. You got to see something special in each guy and say, all right, guys, just run with it. And that's exactly what they did. You can sense, and I don't know if you can, but I can tell you that I feel like you can sense when Shawn Michaels is the agent for a match. Because you can see when these guys are just like, all right, guys, let's do it. Mm-hmm. Just, I think he recognizes when you've got a guy that can do it without direction, without having to be told, don't do this, don't do that, just go out there and perform. And that's what they did. That elbow drop that Velveteen goes for across the ring, almost like a coast-to-coast drop kick that Shane McMahon does and RVD does. I mean, he really could have hit it. He dove. I've never seen somebody with that kind of a leap from the top rope. Maybe Kofi Kingston could pull something like that off, but not many.
And I've watched Ricochet for years, and you're only seeing the surface.
Oh, yeah. You're still not seeing everything he can do.
Tremendous. And the other thing too I find a little odd is before Ricochet goes WWE,
oh yeah,
nobody wants the flips.
right. No flippy dippy stuff.
Yeah,
no
and now he's at the big dance.
Yeah,
and everybody's just in awe.
Notice who hasn't been real talkative on the internet has been Randy Orton. No hashtag dives are boring.
Guess what? Your spot may be in jeopardy.
Very much so.
So, I wouldn't say nothing either.
I really don't want to talk about Money in the Bank
No, we're done.
All right.
Get Money in the Bank.
So let's talk about the 24 special about the Hardys.
I haven't seen it. Make it quick.
Well, then we'll gloss over on it. We'll move on.
Well, let me make this point first while I'm thinking about it.
Make it.
Congratulations to Mustache Mountain for being the NXT Tag Team Champions for all of 30 seconds. Congratulations.
They win the titles during one taping. The next night in the other one, guess who wins them back but the Undisputed Era. I can't wait to watch those matches. Mm-hmm. I promise you they're going to be good. And I have a feeling we're seeing the beginning of a heel turn for Tyler Bate, which I think will be tremendous because the way the Undisputed Era wins the titles back.
No spoilers.
I'm not giving it away. I'm just saying you got to watch it because I can't wait to see it unfold. It reeks of the 80s.
And that match was part of the tournament, right?
Yeah, so here's the thing. We found out this past week that WWE has announced they're going to do a UK tag title and a UK women's title. Mm-hmm. So basically what you're doing is you're giving more titles for NXT to feature every now and again at different events. And I honestly think there's going to be a WWE UK show, period.
Well, yeah.
From now on.
Well, I mean, didn't they? Weren't they talking about some other country?
They wanted to do one in China,
right?
One in not Mexico, but I want to say Portugal or Brazil or something like that. I'm not positive, but what they're trying to do is create their own territories,
right?
Which is genius, by the way. And doing it in the UK first, God, that's smart.
Yeah,
the UK is such a huge ground, for young talent.
Right, and the other good thing is they don't get but so much exposure over here.
Yeah.
And now you're going to give them a true showcase.
And now every time we see them, it's going to be special. Mm-hmm. So even if, let's just say they do a WWE UK show once a month, which would be great, right? You do that once a month, the stock value for these guys, even if they don't have a full-time deal, it's through the roof. I mean, you start making money for other promotions too.
Well, let me ask you this. So let's put on your little cap there. Let's tighten it down. What do you think happens though in a year, 2 years to Raw and SmackDown if the WWE does truly expand out and you expose your audience to the UK style, the Mexican style, the Oriental style, and then on Monday they turn on the crap that I haven't turned on in like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And I'm not kidding you, literally 3 weeks. I couldn't tell you what happened.
I struggle now. When it comes to Raw and SmackDown, I mean, SmackDown's still the better show. Mm-hmm. Raw, I still fall asleep through more than half of it. I pay attention if I see Ronda Rousey, especially if I think she might wrestle that night. Main event, I usually catch. But when it comes to the other parts of the show, I'm either doing something for UCW or I'm just busy or I'm sleeping, honestly. So, yeah, I mean, I have to agree. It's hard to really focus on what they're putting out on Mondays. Tuesdays, their wrestling is still better, but it's still not what we should expect. Because what we saw when the brand split first started versus what we're seeing now still isn't where it was. So, yeah, I think the trouble you run into is now your main roster, quote-unquote, is now going to become background noise.
Right. And again, you're dealing with federations that don't need convoluted storylines.
Right. To be successful,
they just simply wrestle.
But I think what we're going to see here is, because WWE started taking out some really odd trademarks over the past few months, one of which has to do with, it's called global localization. The basics of it is this. WWE, because they're creating their own territories, it's all great. So if the UK kicks off, right, and starts making millions of dollars hand over fist and becomes one of their most dominant brands, all right, Raw sucks. We'll suck it up and keep moving.
Yeah, but again, though, you're dealing with a TV network that you don't own.
Right, which is the key. Here's the next part that really kind of baffles me. So we're talking about Raw and SmackDown really struggling, right? And all these different promotions that they're starting to put together. Like, I'm almost positive there's going to be a WWE Strong Style based out of Japan. I would bank on it before the end of this year.
Well,
Just because of how
in
much
China,
focus-
it would be based probably in China.
Right, but I'm almost positive that's what we're going to see next. Knowing that the way we do, and it's not like we don't have to read a sheet to figure this out. It's honestly, you just look at what they're doing and follow the map. But if that happens, the other part is we just recently covered it about a month ago, the TV deals that WWE just broke. History-making TV deals. I mean, we gave them their due for it because it's a hell of a deal. But if Raw and SmackDown continue to suffer, and we do know that part of the deal for SmackDown is based off attendance and ratings,
Right.
ooh, that's egg on your face. That's a big amount, and Rupert Murdoch doesn't take that lightly.
Right.
This is Fox we're talking about.
Right.
We're not talking about USA that's always been WWE's buddy.
Right.
No, this is a totally different story.
But even USA, if your ratings start to tank,
Yeah, they get too low,
and you start losing money,
Mm-hmm.
because again, it is almost like you're watching the train wreck.
Yeah, it's getting rocky. You got so many main. It's not WCW yet, but it's close. You
Right.
got that many main event talents there. You got so many people who are trying to put a bug in Vince's ear instead of Triple H, and vice versa, and they're starting to not meet.
Right. And again, if you take Tyler out of the UK
Yep.
and Pete Dunne out of the UK and some of these other ones out of the UK, well, then guess what happens? Your UK product
Suffers.
starts to suffer.
Right.
Then you bring them over here, and for whatever reason, you just simply don't know how to book them. Well, they languish.
And you've taken money away from them.
Right.
Now, when you send them back to WWE UK, yeah, they're going to love them because they're the hometown heroes. But just because they're hometown heroes doesn't mean they're really going to make any money.
Right.
So you hurt yourself in that regard, and by the same right, you've watered down another product. And I think that what they're going to run into is they're going to have to say, okay, something has to either simplify, or we need to end something or change something.
It's easy. Get rid of these stupid, convoluted storylines. Let AJ and Nakamura wrestle.
Well,
Let Finn Balor wrestle. Seth Rollins, Samoa Joe. You have major talent that you're not letting simply wrestle.
so while I don't want to go backwards, you have to recognize the last matchup between AJ and Shinsuke Nakamura was the hardest hitting matchup they've had yet. It's as close to strong style you will ever get.
But again,
Nakamura beat the tar out of him.
the match they had in Japan,
Oh yeah, you're never going to get that from a WWE product. You'll never get it.
which
Never.
I don't understand, because somebody should have been smart enough to say,
Just do that.
repeat
Really, yeah.
the magic.
Well, and
You don't have to go blow for blow, but repeat the magic.
I think what they did was
Low blowed for
Well,
like
the-
6 months.
the obvious part of it was that, but I mean, like at Mania, I think honestly, I don't know who, because I think it's stupid advice to give, but I think somebody probably gave him bad advice on purpose to try to keep him from outshining the main event. Which,
Probably.
the only reason the main event was watchable was because Brock brutalized Roman Reigns at the end of it. That's the only reason. I mean, the matchup sucked up until that point, and then when Roman got busted, it was a different ballgame.
I'm going to pick up a knife because we'd almost made it all the way through.
With a double R reference.
Yeah, with that one.
That's about as far as we can
But
go with that one.
I would not be shocked. And then
But the thing is,
you need to turn them loose.
that's where the evidence that there's clearly a miscommunication or just a lack thereof entirely between Vince and Triple H. Because when Triple H is in control, you see NXT, for example, and it's amazing.
Right.
And it's very simplistic. We're not talking anything convoluted. The most convoluted storyline you see is probably Velveteen Dream.
Well,
But even that is just a character. They created it from scratch.
right. And if you notice, like the Undisputed Era,
Yeah.
they're doing these little vignettes like the Bullet Club would do. Out in the parking lots, out by the pool, in the restaurants.
Adam Cole, to me,
Genius.
one of the most popular wrestlers ever. It doesn't matter what he does. He could lose every single week. All he has to do is Adam Cole, baby! And the crowd ridiculously pops.
And again, that's another one
He's the next
that
Shawn Michaels.
I hope does not go to the main roster anytime soon.
You know what? Not that I want to see injuries happen, and I hate to see anybody lose their job. Although Big Cass, I'm kind of happy he's gone. You know,
That's for next week.
yeah, we'll talk about that next week. I'm not getting into that. But Adam Cole is an example of, if you put him out there right now, he will be stuck.
Right.
You'll put him in a feud with No Way Jose or Baron Corbin, and not to put anything. I'm not putting Jose down or Corbin down because hey, Constable Corbin, by the way, is funny TV. I gotta hand it to him. It's pretty funny, and it's also kind of a subtle dig at the Sheriff Austin thing back in 2003. I think it's funny. Do I think it's long lasting or really of any merit? I mean, it probably will be, but I don't think it should be. But getting back to Adam Cole, I think if he is in NXT and they don't put the NXT title on him at some point, it's a huge mistake. I think the North American title, one, is a gorgeous belt. I want that belt. That might be my next collection conquest. But I also think that, honestly, if he stayed North American champion for his whole run there, that's fine with me.
Yeah, and I think he's in such a spot where he really doesn't care. Because I think he's smart enough. O'Reilly, Fish, and Roderick are all smart enough to say, look, if we go up, we're going to get buried. But if we stay NXT, we can move this place.
How about the ability of, and again, it's O'Reilly, right? He's the one that's healthy. That guy is ridiculous on the mat.
Sure.
I have never, in my entire fandom career, and this is over 30 years, seen a guy transition from so many different submission holds at a time. Ankle pick to an arm lock to a headlock, back to an ankle pick, into a leg bind. I'm like, are you kidding me? And he does it in such a way where every single transition makes sense. And the guy sells it well. And it doesn't matter who he's in the ring with. These guys are ridiculously talented. Mm-hmm. If they go to the main roster, they would not flourish right now. Mm-hmm. They can't even get Authors of Pain, by the way, who were called up, 3 months ago? Just after Mania? Yeah, they can't even get them on TV right now.
Well, yeah, but they may be doing what they did with Sanity, because Sanity just finally made the appearance.
How about that?
And they did exactly what they should have done.
Yeah.
Just destroyed them.
The only problem I have with that is, you've built the Bludgeon Brothers up where they are the dominant force. The dominant force. And that's fine. I like both Harper and Rowan. But, wow. Now Sanity. Every other tag team doesn't matter right now. Right. It's Sanity or bust.
Yeah. Well, the Paz are starting to.
Yeah. They don't have a choice.
One night, Sanity shows up for one night, and the Paz are.
Yeah.
They're not parallel. They're intersecting here in a matter of months.
I don't want to see it in Extreme Rules. I want to see it at SummerSlam.
No, actually, it may very. What better place to do it than Extreme Rules?
Well, yeah, that's the obvious.
Look at the name.
And just have them beat the crap out of each other.
Beat the shit out of each
other. No, hey, we're on Spreaker, baby. It's all gravy. I think honestly, you could see Sanity and New Day feud for the belts, and have both teams split the titles at different points and still do Freebird rules. That would be so cool.
I don't know if New Day is ready for Sanity.
Oh,
Sanity is a new kind of crazy.
I mean, Killian Dane, for one, he's a guy that can honestly go solo whenever they want him to and have a great run. Eric Young's another guy. Yeah. And Alexander Wolf, that's his name. Mm-hmm. He's another guy. Honestly, he's pretty talented, and he could be one of their sleeper kind of characters. Mm-hmm. I really loved how they did it. Yeah. Really dug it. And I didn't watch a whole lot of SmackDown, but I caught that part of the debut, and I was like, that's how you make a mark.
I would have much rather had them jump the Bludgeon Brothers just to make a point.
I don't know, man. I mean, here's the
thing.
Right
out the gate. Because, again, so to make your point, they've just trashed everybody.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, again, I like Rowan and Harper.
Yeah.
I got no problem with them. Right? I'm not sold on the Bludgeon Brother gimmick, but I got no problem with it.
Yeah.
Right? And so you just had a decent match with, the club.
Yeah.
Right? Who are probably the next biggest tag team.
Oh, easily,
right?
Yeah.
Easy,
yeah.
I mean, Gallows is, And then, so, you just had them beat them. Right? You know it's coming. You know it's down the road, so why wait? You got a pay-per-view coming up.
Just put it out there.
Just throw it out there, because I'll lay money right? I'll lay money that you would get buy rates for the Bludgeon Brothers versus Sanity, as opposed to hopefully the Bludgeon Brothers versus somebody.
Well, I mean, I think there's money in the matchup, definitely, but I also think that they're missing an opportunity with the club in this mix.
Sure, but who knows if they're out of the mix yet?
But that's just it. We don't really know because of the way everything went down, and that's what I'm hopeful for. Because if they do it right, you keep the club in that mix, and that title picture gets high,
right?
Real
really
easily,
quick.
yeah. And you don't really have to do a lot of tweaking or changes. You just let them fight.
Right. Well, not only that, but you let the club be the club.
Yeah.
And you let Sanity be Sanity, and then you let the Bludgeon Brothers just come down to the ring. That's all you need to do.
Realistically speaking, if you just let all three teams just brawl, kind of like how the Shield and the Wyatts used to do, I think that's money by itself. You really don't need to sell it any other way.
And even if you did at Extreme Rules a triple threat tag team match,
it'd still be good.
Yeah.
I still think it would be good. You got too many talented guys there for it not to be good. The weak link there, honestly, is Rowan, because everybody else in that matchup is great.
Well, yeah, but the to me their style helps Rowan.
It does. I mean, it's something that would help him look good. But I think honestly, the weak link out of all of those guys, it's Rowan.
And eventually, because you built the Bludgeon Brothers up to be what they are,
yeah.
How do you get the titles off if it's not Sanity?
I don't think you can.
You can't.
You'd
it's not the Usos.
You didn't do the right move, which would have been Authors of Pain.
Right.
It would have been the stare down between the two Titan teams and then have them brawl. Would have been great. But no, you blew that. You put the club out there. You don't let the club go over. All right, somebody's got to make a different call. You got to make a different decision. So hey, we got about over 30, under 30 seconds here. Social media plugs. How do they find you? I'm not doing it this time.
You're doing it.
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 You do it.
You.
No, you. I'm going to keep counting back to you.
Spit it out.
Back to you, Brian.
Spit it out.
It's like Uno, and back to you.
I know we haven't done this in a while, but spit it out.
Don't play this silly game with me this time. You do it.
Spit it out.
Brian doesn't have social media.
That's fine. Then
no. Last time I did that,
have to hit to the
thing.
website. Yeah, I mean, it just crashes, you know. Dogs and cats
living together.
Mass hysteria. They can't find me.
Telling you they've got to make a pay-per-view called that.
What?
Mass hysteria.
What are you kidding me?
What?
You know what?
No, you know what? No, now I know what. Never mind. I'm going to be quiet now. Alright, for that, I got to do it.
Because should it come out, you're done.
Damn it! Alright, well, I guess I got to take the heat for that. Brian can be found on social media at STRCP21 on Twitter. Brian Taylor on Facebook. He's on Instagram, but I don't think he uses it. Rob is not with us this evening. He's, of course, at work doing some other stuff, but you can catch up with him. Rob Hefner, C2C on the Twitter machine. RDHUWP on Instagram and Rob Hefner on Facebook. You can catch up with the show at C2C Radio Show on Twitter and Corner to Corner Show on Facebook. Hey, by the way, go to Corner to Corner Wrestling, the group page on Facebook. Get yourself in now, because within the next month or so, we'll be doing yet another Corner to Corner fantasy draft.
Is this the
Jesus, spit it out.
Yeah, but the jobber one, I want to.
No, that's the going poll. But you're missing out on that one. This is a good poll. Top jobber.
Who's in the lead, by the way?
You know what? They just right now it's the entries. It's like quarterfinals. So I mean, we're choosing from everybody like Barrio to Joey Nags.
Listen.
Barry
Let me just throw this
Mike
out
Sharp.
there. Let me just throw this one out there, and we're going to end it on this.
All right.
Okay, I'm going to put this out there, and
in that case, they can be found on Twitter at Stan from Krypton. Continue.
This is not going to be beat. Okay. The all-time greatest would be fans of the show.
Oh, yes.
The Mulkeys.
The greatest drinking buddies one could ever ask for.
Because the simple fact is they beat the Midnight Express twice.
I mean, I was sold when we said drinking buddies.
Yes. But I'm almost positive none of the rest of them have that many wins.
You might see me politic in our chat, probably for the Malkies, the entire time.
If y'all don't put it in there, this poll means diddly.
Hey, and with that, thanks again for listening. Again, we apologize for the absences between family and work and all the other craziness that is life. Hey, and let's just face it, as much time as we spend on the big guys, WWE, you'd probably agree with us that there's a vow of silence that ends up getting taken after a while. Even if you are a fan, you have to recognize there's some work that needs to be done. So, hey, we chose not to play their ball game. And with that,
maybe a little.
All right.
We didn't play TNA's ball game.
No, nobody plays there. Anyway, with that, hey, for Brian,
Deuces.
this is Stan Grubb saying thanks again for listening. We will see you next week right here on Corner to Corner Wrestling Radio. And, oh, by the way, Eddie Lane will be back with us then as well. UCW Radio will be airing as well through Spreaker.com next week. Thanks again for listening. Have a great night, everybody.